Tom Whitby, we sharecropped for him one year, but he said when he built his house, I don't know if it was 8 or 10, when he built it along by the railroad tracks, Dixie and 39th Street, that he hoed the weeds out of his yard, and he said he'd look out there a good bit sometimes and see Indians sleeping in his yard because they walking around the trail there. That was in 10 and 15 along. He was the only one in Oakland Park. It's 5 miles of Pompano and back towards Lauderdale. Um, when I knew him, he was 70 years old, or past, and well, he was married a lady they call Red Hot Mama. And they lived there that on Dixie. He was a farmer. He had come here to farm. Had a brother, and they come to winter vegetables. You see, that's what brought all the people from the north down. Winter vegetables, good hunting and fishing. So it attracted right from the start a lot of people.
Dewey Hawkins and Frank Hawkins and Ernest Hawkins and Claude Hawkins, Grover Hawkins. I had an aunt, Ella Mitchell, who was here. Hawkins family were my mother's brothers and sisters. They all were natives of Suwannee County, Florida. It's the one that's in one of those snapshots holding the reins of a horse. And he farmed vegetables in the beginning. He bought a lot of land on tax deeds. He did a lot of ranching, and he was the mayor of Oakland Park for 25 years that I know of. His daughter donated the building where the Masonic Lodge is located. It's called J. Dewey Hawkins Masonic Lodge number something. Loved people. He was obviously a very smart man. Park, there were 2 telephones and 500 people in town.
T.C. Moore. He got into the real estate business, and he was working that in an office, and was on Oakland Park Boulevard, close to the main north, east and west road. And he got a lot of people into Florida. He was he was just a great old guy. I mean, he never met anybody that he didn't think he'd known them for 50 years already. And, like some of these pictures that are here, the one where the people are lined up way off from it and having a picnic and all, well, that was just across Oakland Park Boulevard. And Tom set that all up. He did very well. Yeah, he did well, and he did. He wasn't a big developer, but he got an awful lot of the houses. 3 houses out of 4 had been sold by Tom more than once. I mean, so he was quite the man in town as far as, if you needed information or how do you get this done, or who at the city hall can talk to you about whatever your problem is, or you want to do something. And he was just sort of a man about the town.
My maternal grandparents, Luke and Nora Kinsey, came to this area in 1914 when my mother was 7 years old. And they lived, I think, in what's called Copahatchee for a while before they bought a block of land here between what is now Northeast 34th Street and 34th Court and Dixie and 12th Avenue. And there was a house there. They had a frame house, and then they also had a garage apartment. They gave my mother and my father a piece of land there on that block, and they built their house there. I was born in a little house on the southwest corner of what is now Dixie Highway and Northeast 34th Court. It was Florinata. Florinata had been incorporated in late 1925, and I was born on January 6, 1926. And according to one of the early historians that we had, I was the first child born after the city was incorporated, of people who lived here.
The first 20 houses down here were two-story. They were afraid of high water. And of course, here's a list of a dozen of those two-story houses, like Darlene's grandparents built 2 stories. A little one room up, but that was his first house. The McBrides bought land here in 11, but in 17, my dad met Mr. Mack. He had drove from Oklahoma in a covered wagon here, and he built his house. But they built houses. He built it 4 steps, wooden steps, coming in the house. It was up high off the ground.
Girls that went to Oakland Park School, her dad was the bridge tender, and we would go out to visit. Her name was Marjorie Harrison. Her family, the Harrison family, is an old family here in Oakland Park. But we would go out and visit, and when the boat horn would blow, Mr. Harrison would go out, and we would all of us that were there would hop on the bridge, and big deal.
Well, I came with my parents. They drove from Okeechobee, and we came here in 1938.